Mike Flanagan takes a crack at a 51-year-old dead horse. Zack Snyder returns to his roots. And is AI considered a slur now?
Oh, it's time for class.
Class is in session!
Roll call! Bueller?
I'm gonna be late for class.
Bueller?
Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm late for class.
You are mine now. You belong to me.
Did you study for the test?
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kimblett to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
Hello, classmates. Welcome to another episode of Middle Class Film Class. I'm your host for today, Pete.
And I'm Tyler.
And I'm Joseph.
And we have a great show for you today. Tyler's sequestered himself to his billion-dollar mansion that resides within the walls of his mother's house. And what's up, Tyler?
I don't know. There's something going around.
Yeah.
I don't feel good.
There is something going around. I got a little bit of a chest cold bug, and you could probably hear it in my voice, and you're going to hear some terrifying coughing later in the episode. Mm-hmm. I sound like I have a smoker's cough, like I'm Cruella de Vil. So listeners, have no fear. I'm okay. I'm not dying. I'm asthmatic. So every little thing is
privy to lung issues.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But classmates, you should worry about me because I might be dying.
Okay. Yeah, Tyler smokes like a chimney. Actually, you know, you haven't been smoking.
No, I don't.
You've been smoking a lot less lately.
Yeah.
When are you going to actually give it up, though?
I don't know. Probably never.
Tomorrow. How about that?
Tomorrow?
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop tomorrow.
Be better. Do better.
Well, happy June 1st. Happy Pride Month.
Yes.
To all of our
I forgot.
LGBTQI plus members who are listeners.
Yeah.
If we have any out there.
I confirm I know we at least have a couple.
Okay.
I know for sure.
I think we do.
Well, thank you for listening. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely appreciate you.
Oh, we have.
But yeah, I mean, no, it sucks. Like,
What, Pride Month?
Pride Month?
Wait a minute.
I like Tyler's command of conversation flow.
I'm just saying it sucks not to be in the studio. Come on.
Why you're in your cuddly bed? You got to sleep in today.
Where's Lucas? I don't see him.
Instead of your normal 20 minutes late, you're 30 minutes late today.
You didn't even have to drive anywhere, and you're still late.
Jesus Christ. Joseph, you're one to talk, Joseph.
What are you talking about?
You're always late.
Well, at least I say I'm going to be late.
Yeah, Tyler, Joseph at least checks in. He's like, I'm going to be about 5 minutes late. Like, got it. Tyler's call time, 12:15. 20 messages later. Not one, not even a response.
Not even an answer of a phone
Not
call.
even I picked up the phone. I had to put my thumb to the touch screen to actually dial your ass. And you didn't even answer. What was the answer? Why were you late?
Because I had to restart my router.
I forgot that your phone is controlled by your router. Can't take a phone call while your router's rebooting.
I'm sorry, I don't have my phone on me all times.
He's got limited minutes.
Only when you have a call time for the show that you host.
I'm not hosting today.
He's on a phone plan from 2008 where you have minutes.
I forgot Tyler's not on the show when he's not leading. He doesn't care about the episodes that he doesn't host.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He's like, what? Brave little toaster? I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw your review on Letterboxd. We'll talk about that later.
You saw my review on it?
Yeah.
I saw. I got
a little preview.
I saw. So anyways, thank you to everyone on the YouTube Live and otherwise, and of course the OG classmates in podcast land. Let's get right into some gab and chatter.
Find some chirp in ye, lad. Now's the time for gab and chatter.
Gab and chatter, movie news of the week. Tyler, lead us off.
All right, so new Exorcist director Mike Flanagan is terrified to be taking on the horror classic.
He's terrified.
So
I would be terrified. I would be terrified.
Like he's nervous?
Yeah.
Well, yes, of course, because it's such a beloved franchise. Yeah, well, the reason why, this is news to me as well, is because I didn't realize Mike Flanagan was going to direct a new Exorcist movie.
Yeah, that's the story.
Yeah, like I have full faith in him because apparently I haven't seen The Exorcist Believer, which was supposed to lead off into a new franchise of
you could skip it. It's not good.
Yeah, don't watch it.
I figure as much. And so when I saw this story, I was very like, holy shit, Mike Flanagan, The Exorcist, count me in.
So you're on board.
Yeah. So he was at it was an ATX festival in Austin, Texas. I don't know what ATX is, but
Austin, Texas.
Okay. Thank you for that. God damn it.
Can't make me laugh like that right now. I'm dying. Oh God. ATX. It sounds like a graphics processing card.
Yeah,
It kind of does.
like a Radeon.
Radeon ATX 98,000.
Well, so he was asked a question about his involvement with this new Exorcist movie, and he said, "I'm terrified. No, actually, let me rephrase that. He said, quote, for The Exorcist specifically, I'm fucking terrified."
Ooh.
And the reason being is because he feels like there's like an immense amount of pressure put on him right now to bring back the good name of The Exorcist. And I have full faith in him that he will be able to pull it off.
I'm going to be cautiously optimistic because I do like Flanagan. I think he's got a really good eye for interesting and creepy stuff. Midnight Mass was fantastic. Dr. Sleep I thought was really fantastic.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the Fall of House of Usher, but I think I think he respects the properties in a way, if that makes sense. But I don't know. I think like no matter what you do with The Exorcist, I think it's kind of like a losing battle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a professional boxer that agrees to fight a woman.
The odds are against you.
You're either going to lose and everyone
Right.
laughs at you for losing to a girl, or you're going to beat her and everyone's like, why'd you fight it?
Why'd you beat a girl?
You beat a girl up? Good for you. You know?
Well,
She
it's
asked
kind of
me
like the
to.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. It's just like he's beating up an old man, or this old man beats him up. There's no winning.
Yeah. People really like Mike Flanagan and like the stuff that he's made. I've only seen, Dr. Sleep, obviously, in Gerald's Game, and the Haunting series.
You saw the Haunting series?
Yeah. Hill House and Bly Manor. And he's got a very smooth, kind of muted dark tone style to his work.
Yeah.
That's kind of present throughout. But people like really like Flanagan, where they'll be like anything he's attached to, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah.
I'm like I'll watch it, but I'm not like a stan for Mike Flanagan.
Yeah, neither am I. I think he's got a successful track record, but I'm not going to beat down the door to go watch the next thing. I liked Hush too. That was good.
Oh yeah.
I think
Gerald's
Midnight Mass was probably like his breakthrough into the.
I think he was already pretty well established at that point. I don't think Midnight Mass has as big of an audience as you might think it does, although the people that watched it seemed to love it because I thought it was great.
Yeah, I know it was really great, but I guess what I'm saying is like Midnight Mass is like kind of what put him like on the map for other people saying, "Oh, Mike Flanagan's doing that." I think we're gonna check that out.
Kevin from Real Spoilers is in the chat. He says look what he did with Dr. Sleep, huge undertaking. Took a sequel to a beloved horror movie and made it something I think pretty impressive.
Oh, it was.
And then added a top hat for some reason.
Eric's also in the chat. He wants to know how many good Exorcist movies there have been. He only saw the first one.
Well, Exorcist 3, of course.
We covered that on this show, and I thought that was pretty good. Better than I was expecting.
Yeah. I had Brad Dourif.
I still wouldn't call it a classic by any means, though.
But you wouldn't call it a classic? What?
No.
Why?
It has that one really cool scene that everybody points out with the big scissors.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, it's pretty good. Joe Bridges in the chat says, Flanagan's the master of better than average quality, Stephen King-esque movies and series.
Yeah.
I call him polished gothic, his style.
Polished gothic. That's actually a really great description for his
because it's
work.
like all the rough edges are smoothed off with this stuff.
I mean, he's taken two Stephen King properties, Gerald's Game, and then The Shining with the Dr. Sleep, which is, I think Dr. Sleep's also a book, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's the actual sequel to The Shining, the book.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So Mike Flanagan, he's afraid to take on such a legendary IP.
Good for him. The balls to have to.
He
do
doesn't
that.
have to do it.
No, it's almost.
Of course, he doesn't have to do it. It's just I like the humbleness of it all.
He's like Felix Baumgartner standing on the edge of that giant hot air balloon in the stratosphere, getting ready to dive to Earth. No one put you up there, but goddamn, that's got to be scary. Jumping out of that
Guys, I'm
space balloon.
scared. I'm scared. I'm up here and I'm scared.
Yeah.
He did in the article. He did say, yeah, there's some stinkers in the Exorcist series. He didn't go into specifics of what the sequels were.
How many are there?
I think there's 3 total. 3 sequels before Believer. That was Exorcist 5.
Exorcist 3 was the last one?
No, 3 sequels. I think there was Exorcist 2, The Heretic, number 3, and then number 4, which is like Beginnings or some shit like that. And then Exorcist Believer was technically number 5. I think. Don't quote me on that.
Isn't the Skarsgård?
Chad, you can correct me if you want.
In that one? In the
I don't know.
Before Believer?
I'll probably never see those unless I'm forced to watch this series. The whole series. Like I just did with Chucky.
Oh, God. I'm so sorry that you had to go through that.
Oh, it was fine. It was fine. Anything else, Tyler?
No, that's it.
Okay. Awesome. Joseph, what do you got?
Okay, so I have a couple of things. One kind of ties into one of Pete's stories about AI. But first, Zack Snyder, our beloved Zack Snyder.
Oh, yes.
Is he beloved? Pal. Is he beloved?
Yeah, he's bro-loved.
He's bro-loved.
He's bro-loved.
Yeah.
Bro-loved, okay.
That's a good term. He is going back to the world of 300 and is in talks to direct a 300 prequel series at Warner Brothers Television. I had no idea. I don't know if there's content like in the graphic novel content that this is going to be based on, which I'm reading this article right now for the very first time.
All right.
Based on
the Tyler approach.
Based on the 1998 comic book series of the same name, Frank Miller and Lynn Varley, 300 hit theaters in 2007, and it made $28 million at the box office opening day.
Oh, that was okay. I was going to say that seems low for
opening
that movie.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Opening day. Mm-hmm. And the Snyder is saying, we got the rights back so we can make, if we want it, this prequel series. I don't know what the marketplace is for an incredibly homoerotic, super violent, super sexual movie, but maybe it's perfect.
I mean, who doesn't want that? That sounds great.
Yeah.
Couldn't say better than
300. The movie has recently received a lot of backlash for glorifying recent backlash, allegedly glorifying fascism, racism, and foreshadowing the rise of the alt-right.
What?
Yeah. I'm like, I watched it recently a couple months ago. I don't know if I got that, but maybe you have to take another look at it and maybe something's there.
I mean, I think you can interpret it that way, but it's almost like it's in a time of the world where a foreign nation is attacking you for no reason just because they want to take it and you're standing your ground. Mm-hmm. And the foreigners in this particular time and place are evil people.
Wait, did you just say foreigners? Okay, canceled.
I did. I said in this particular time and place in history, foreigners are evil and forced to...
Wouldn't Xerxes' army be the fascists in that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In this particular case, the Spartans are just chilling, and then the Persians, which are Iranians,
yes,
come in and they're like, we're gonna take your land and we're gonna destroy you if you don't bow down to me.
I can see the racism part of it because I've heard that before about the portrayal of the enemy as like monsters, essentially.
Yeah,
I can see.
I have thoughts about that.
I can see where that comes from, but I mean, I've never read the graphic novel, so maybe it just that all of that just stems from the graphic novel itself.
So think about it in terms of this. You're in a more or less primitive culture. You know, back in the Iron Age or the Bronze Age, potentially. No electricity. Boats are just starting to become a thing. People are starting to travel the large, world scalable boats. Mm-hmm. People are starting to travel around the world, and world exploration is becoming a new norm. And it's unusual to see people that are outside of your culture because people just don't go that far when they're born. The generations stay in the same place, in the same village, in the same whatever. And all of a sudden you get these people from another land that come in with animals you've never seen, dressed in ways that you've never seen, playing music and instruments that you've never seen in their battle cries. And they come to your nation and what they say is, bow to me or you're dead. That's a monster in my book.
Yeah.
And the whole 300 storytelling device is that it's not Leonidas who's telling the story. It's the guy with
this general.
Yeah, the general with the scar across his face. He gets kicked out of battle halfway through.
Yeah.
He goes back and
badass.
he tells the story to the rest of the troops. The 300 fell, and he's telling the story about how valiantly they fought to keep their country from these monsters. So his exaggerations of what the Persians looked like are going to be even more grotesque. Oh yeah, they were hideous monsters. Oh, they were 10 feet tall, and they had masks, and this guy had a chopping block for an arm, and he cut people's heads off. I really like the storytelling device of 300. I completely disagree with the whole fascism thing.
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
It's so reductive.
I can understand how they could see the fascism of it all, but I don't know. Like, it's just a story. If you're taking it seriously like that,
Well, people do tend to read a lot more into things these days. Like try to maybe read between lines, and especially go back to older movies like this, or older stories and content like this. Maybe actually that was really racist.
Yeah.
But
I like when people tried to cancel Robert Downey Jr. for Tropic Thunder years later.
Oh,
And it didn't take off. Everyone's like, that's kind of the point.
honestly, most people, that's like the one thing where most people are like
They all agree
that they understood what it was doing.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing that
It is so strange. He got away with it.
and no one else can.
he got away with
He pulled it off. The
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
Somehow Ben Stiller and Robert Downey Jr. pulled it off. It's
I know.
crazy.
Ben Stiller was a different type of face.
I know.
He was playing.
Because he got most of the hate for that movie for portraying Simple Jack.
Yeah.
And apparently, Warner Brothers is looking to enlist the 2006 film's original production team from the movie 300 to helm this. There's no writer attached. I assume Snyder would be involved with that at some point, or to some degree. But it's in very early stages of development. I have no idea if I'm interested in a prequel series like that.
I mean, what would the prequel be about?
I have no idea.
Just raising badass kids and stuff.
Leonidas as a child. Although we got that in the movie.
Yeah,
so
we already got that in the movie.
Maybe
I don't
it's
know.
like 300 years before 300. I have no idea. I don't know.
300 years before.
Maybe it's going to be about that Quasimodo looking guy.
Oh, yeah. All right, now Joseph's canceled.
Yeah, his Hunchback
cancel each other all the time.
Hunchback from Notre Dame. Is that insensitive
Oh
now?
my gosh, that's fascist. Canceled instantly.
You are ugly. I am ugly.
Out. You're out.
And then my next story, I mean, do you want to do your AI news story first?
Yeah, I'll jump into it because we got kind of a bevy of AI content. Not the bad kind of AI content, more of an AI discussion. First off, Steven's in the chat, and he says, hey, Montreal is where they shot 300. So maybe they're going to...
Is that right?
Maybe they'll come back and shoot it there, Steven. We'll see. So AI is the hot topic right now. Everybody's either running from it or running towards it, right?
Yeah.
It's, condemn this project for using AI for these 3 scenes, or this, script outline, or this whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And I have kind of a mix. Joseph's got one bit of a story, and I got one, or 2 here. And one of them, I'm going to air this, is more on the benevolent side of AI. And I want to take just a second to really talk about the difference between generative AI and then other AI, this quote unquote AI, right?
AI as a tool.
Yeah. So the one thing is, generative AI is the idea that you're taking an AI system, a smart learning computer program, and you're feeding it information. The source of the information in most of these generative AI programs and algorithms is the open internet. And it can take everything that it finds on the internet, recontextualize it, take bits and pieces of it, and then create a new piece of art. What you're doing with that is stealing artists' art. It's literally like taking a collage of other people's art and putting it together and saying, look, I made this. This is all my art. Mm-hmm. And I know that there's a little bit like Andy Warhol's pop art and all that kind of stuff is essentially basically doing that. And
but at least a person is doing it.
Yeah, he's still. And I have a lot of thoughts about Andy Warhol and Mr. Brainwash from Exit Through the Gift Shop, that great documentary. But all that aside, that's generative AI. It's taking a fixed pool of information that's fed to the artist, or this quote unquote artist app, and then it's recreating something new from stolen content, essentially.
Yeah.
Without giving any sort of credit.
Without credit.
Credit or compensation.
My thoughts are that eventually one day, generative AI, you'll be able to have your own generative AI. And so let's just say you're an artist and you've created 1,000 paintings of a particular style. And you can feed all of just your paintings into this pool and say, I want you to generate me this painting of something I've never painted before. And it's going to do it in your style. And that's and in my head, that's okay because you're using your own stuff as a reference point and you're basically transfiguring your own crap.
Yeah.
I still think it's kind of weird, but it's not like morally bankrupt in my opinion.
Yeah, because you've created all those pieces of work and now I don't have to spend 100 hours on a painting.
Correct.
Which is, I don't know. I feel like that really diminishes your own work.
I think it does too. I think that there's going to be...
We're not even at that stage of it yet.
This is just what I think is going to be down the road. And I think that there's going to be like stamps of approval or certified organic stamps on projects, art projects now that say certified human only, no AI used at all. That sort of thing. It's going to happen. I guarantee
I feel like something like that would benefit someone who's consuming someone else's art. Like AI generate me a piece from this person's art for a cheaper price. They can have their own custom pieces that they paint by hand that are sold for, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever. Generate me this other like lower kind of quality for like $50.
I mean, a Claude Monet like painting goes for like millions.
Yeah.
So like that would be, I could definitely see that.
There's already social media sites that are popping up that are certified AI free sites. Cara, C-A-R-A is one. Brianna joined that recently. It's for a place for artists to share their work.
I've heard about this.
Just like on Instagram or whatever, where you can get your audience, but there's zero chance there's AI. And if you have AI art that people are sharing on their page, you can report it and get them kicked off the program. And it's like, because I blew up a little bit at Tyler last week because I brought to the surface that he posts and reshares AI, big titty goth girls all the time on his Instagram page. And when I asked him if he knew it was AI, he said, yeah, so what? After all these discussions we've had, and you say that you're on the side of artists and and AI has no place in the arts and you agree with this, but then at the same time, you're like, yeah, so what? I got a boner. Sue me.
I wouldn't go that far.
What about the hardworking Rule 34 artists and furry artists?
I mean, what do you expect me to say? Like,
don't support those pages. If the page says in the headline of the subject of the page is AI,
or it's tagged,
and almost every one of them, when I pop on it and on Tyler's page and I go to the page that he shared, it says right in the subject line AI. And just once you see it, just get out of there. Don't do it anymore. Don't support it.
He's lying to you.
There's hundreds of thousands of people are upvoting and liking and sharing and commenting on these pages, and there's toiling artists that are doing as good or better work that are getting no traction with a human hand building it. I blew up a little bit about you, but it's just something I feel passionate about because Brianna is an artist, and she has actually lost out on work because of AI already. And she's a struggling artist. She's a freelance graphic designer. People are just like, pop it into a search engine and it's done. So to me, the difference between something like Photoshop generative fill, where what do they call that?
It's content aware.
Content aware, yeah.
Which was already something involved with Photoshop, but now they like have an enhanced version, which is AI generative, which still uses whatever image you have in there
on the canvas,
and then just like either expands upon it.
Yeah, and it's like that. To me, that's a tool, and you're using the work piece that's in front of you. It doesn't have. It's not searching the internet for other things to basically steal. So the AI buzzword is becoming like this witch hunt for people like Joseph and myself who are very passionate about it. And you hear, oh shit, here's the actual story that the composer for Furiosa used AI in his production of his score for the movie. Mm-hmm. And here's a quote from the story on Variety. Hulkenberg even incorporated elements of AI technology into the score. Rather than run from it, he chose to engage with the new ideas. Quote, I used AI to make deep fake voices from another voice. I'd actually used it, not for the voices, But what if the surround sound was a drum rhythm, or the source sound was from a drum rhythm? And what if the designation sound was an electric guitar? But the software doesn't know what to do with all that. So it gave us a really happy accident, and we were able to use throughout the score. So
he was essentially experimenting with a tool.
Correct.
Built into whatever he uses.
He took a voice, he put the voice into it, and then created a different sounding voice from it. But he's still feeding his own voice or someone else's voice into it.
Right.
And then he took a drum rhythm and put that into the program and said, hey, computer, interpret this drum rhythm into a guitar somehow. And the computer goes,
What the fuck are you talking about?
and then it pops out some crazy guitar sound. And he goes, ooh, that's interesting. I'm going to take a piece of that, and I'm going to take a piece of this, and I'm going to put it together, and I'm going to make a sound out of it.
Yeah. Eric, that's a good point. It's not, it's sampling.
Yes.
But it's like a very modern version of sampling. It's like not sampling the traditional sense of sampling.
And it's sampling your own stuff. It's almost like the way that Daft Punk takes songs, and he'll take one beat
of a
song, slow it down, play it 3-4 times in a row,
flip it, reverse it.
Yeah, lay it down, flip it, and reverse it, and then they make this but then they add a billion other things on top of it, make this amazing song.
Oh, you brought up farts, Eric?
Wonderful, thank you. See, but in this case, it's his own farts.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, wonderful! This is great. He's exhausted his farts. Thank you. AI farts? Has science gone too far? All right. So to me, that's a tool. It's almost like a processor. You put this sound in, you get a different sound out. It's like taking a guitar pedal and putting it on your guitar, and you make it talk. You're like
Eric Clapton.
Yeah, Eric Clapton or
Peter
bullshit.
Frampton, actually.
Or horror movie composer making creepy sounds. They're like, I'm going to take a freaking violin bow and drag it across this, wood saw and wobble it and make a crazy sound out of it. And then I'm going to slow that down and lay it, put it in a giant echo room and smash a basin of water on the ground and see what happens. It's like making Foley artists making stuff, but they're using these new tools. It's not stealing anybody's stuff. So I saw that story, and I saw like kind of this witch hunt instantly happening for this composer from Furiosa, which apparently he's like a divisive figure.
Seeing just the two little letters and not as a headline, on a headline can be like triggering, especially nowadays.
Yeah, it's like a slur now.
And then you look more into it. Hopefully, people look more into it.
Yeah,
but people are right to be cautious and borderline offended by seeing that involved in something like Furiosa, something as big as like Furiosa was.
It got me to click on the link for sure, and I read the whole article.
Yeah.
Where sometimes I'm like, how is this AI for the music now? Oh boy, let's see what this is.
Yeah, like when I was going to see Land with the Devil, I didn't know about that until it was like the day of. I read the article that I found out about it. I was like, well, I guess I'll go find out tonight what it's going to be.
Yeah,
and it's just
how effective it was, or
so.
A couple comments in the chat. Dave Likes Movies is in the chat. He says, you guys should review Soul Man in 1986, see how that holds up. It's the one where the guy paints himself black and tries to get into college.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's on my watch list, actually. And then he also says, YouTube has new AI check asking to you if you've used it so you can change someone's voice and stuff like that. Yeah, we've noticed that when we upload videos now, you have to check a box, yes or no, if it's been used. AI has been used in your production.
Interesting.
And then he also says it's time to replace Tyler as a co-host with an AI version called Robo Tyler. There's
like Robo Mr. Krabs.
Yeah. maybe
fine.
Maybe
you know what? If that's what the audience wants, that's what the audience will get.
No, it's called a taste your own medicine, Tyler.
What do you mean, taste my own medicine?
Your job is being replaced by AI. Will you take it seriously now?
I will take it seriously if I am replaced.
So those are kind of the two things I wanted to touch on. Joseph, you had a little bit too.
Yeah. So along with a whole streaming service that you can AI generate TV shows.
Oh yeah, that was the next thing. It was like the big scary is that it's called, where is it? I had it here. It's called Showrunner. It's a complete AI streaming service called Showrunner.
Yeah, and you can generate your own TV shows.
Yeah, you put in a prompt for what do you want it to be about and who it stars, and
God,
fuck that.
God,
That is.
I don't know. That sounds fun.
no.
Why?
Why do I need
fun?
to? Why do I need that?
Yeah. Why do we want?
It just sounds fun. Like anyone
Maybe
can
it does
create
sound
their
fun,
own.
but arguably it's a very not good thing.
I am actually very curious to see what it looks like because I can't imagine that anybody with a discerning palate of any degree, and that sounds so pompous, but anybody who gives a fuck about what they're putting into their eyes and ears are going to watch an AI generated show created from scratch on the fly and choose to use their time for that on a regular basis. It just seems like a melting of your mind of society. Go ahead, Tyler.
I was gonna say, all I'm saying is that it sounds fun for just like recreationally, like not to be taken seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't watching TV shows a recreational thing?
Of course it is. But
So why do I need to another thing?
No, it's about the people who are creating it themselves. Like it's fun for them to do.
Then create a TV show.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's fun for the showrunners, or is it fun for the viewer who's making the show?
Fun for the customer, not fun for the people who work in that industry.
It's fun for the showrunner, or I don't even know how it would work exactly, but the idea of being able to create your own TV show.
So imagine
through AI,
imagine
through
this,
AI,
Tyler.
without the intent of profit.
But they are profiting. They are profiting from it though, because they're selling you the service.
Sure.
And they're filling it with nothing, a program that they bought or created or whatever. And then all the people that would normally go into making a TV show or series, writers, directors, gaffers, blockers, editors, distribution people, PR people, the entire industry of people essentially being put out of work because you wanted to watch a raccoon who's an astronaut drawn in the style of a comic book show with five episodes in the first season. And you put that into your little search bar and it said, hold on, Tyler, I'm generating that for you. Boop, 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 boop.
I think I misunderstood it. Maybe I was thinking that every man can go onto this whatever AI program and create a show through AI. And I mean, for myself, if there was a program like that, that would be fun. It'd be like, oh, wow, I put in these actors.
That's exactly what it is, but you're paying the service for it. I mean, all we're saying is that's the benevolent version of the AI buzzword is this, in my opinion, this musician who's using these is kind of as a tool to create some new interesting stuff on top of all the traditional versions of music. And the evil version of it is we're going to make our own streaming service where we don't have to pay anybody to do it. And you just come in with as a user, type in the prompt that you want, and you generate an entire show out of it.
That I don't agree with.
That's what you just said.
That's what this is. That's what the story is.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I was just saying that.
And it does sound, it sounds interesting. Just like just watching, like doing Chat GPT and saying, hey, Chat GPT, can you post make a picture of me and Joseph and Tyler together at the top of the Grand Canyon? Because we're never going to actually go there. So let's do it. And then we have this great fun picture of the three of us framed forever.
No, because we can just get AI to do it.
Yeah, because we're just going to get AI to do it.
You don't have to experience anything.
Mm-hmm. We just turn into the people in WALL-E and just float around and just pretend like life's happening around us.
Beyond those rascals.
The floating rascals, yeah. So sorry I cut you off.
No, that's
Joseph,
okay.
But
That's okay. Because the Tribeca Film Festival, a pretty big film festival, is announced that it will host something called Sora Shorts, and Sora is the new video-based AI software.
it's happening.
And it's going to screen AI-generated short films that were created. It's going to have a whole category, a whole segment of that festival that's for screening AI-generated short films.
Dude, what the fuck?
Sora has not been released to the public yet, and is still new, is very new even for the most seasoned AI filmmakers. I had no idea that was a thing.
I didn't know either.
But OpenAI gave the cohort of 5 directors early access to the program, so long as they agreed to the filmmaking terms surrounding AI, as negotiated last year with the Directors Guild of America, Writers Guild of America, and the SAG after guilds.
Isn't this what they went on strike for?
Yes.
Isn't that like the whole point of this whole strike?
Exactly.
We're limiting AI, but we're going to do our own.
The one specific director, Nikyatu Jusu, the director of the Sundance Grand Jury Prize winner Nanny, is among the 5 filmmakers who will screen Sora-made movies at the Tribeca Film Festival this month in June at the Tribeca Film Center screening room. The other filmmakers are Bonnie Discapolo, Ellie Fumbi, Reza Sixos, Safai, and Michaela Ternaski Holland. Remember those names.
They roll right off the tongue.
I'm going to pop quiz coming up randomly. Discapolo, one of the directors, is known as an actor for being in Shazam! Fury of the Gods and has had films play at Tribeca, South by Southwest, and Fantastic Fest. And it kind of goes on to talk about these other directors, like their works, other than maybe smaller parts in filmmaking they've had part in. Tribeca is rooted in the foundational belief that storytelling inspires change. Humans need stories to thrive and make sense of our wonderful and broken world, the co-founder of and CEO of Tribeca Enterprises said. Sometimes these stories come to us as a feature film, an immersive experience, a piece of art, or even an AI-generated short film. Up until recently, an AI-generated short film. I can't wait to see what this group of fiercely creative Tribeca alumni come up with. They're not coming up with it, though. Fucking...
They type stuff onto a paper and do a prompt to Joseph.
Yeah, it's great to see how these
They work
filmmakers
their ass off.
are extending their creativity with Sora, and we are honored for their works to debut at the Tribeca Festival. The COO of OpenAI, Brad Lightcap, we've got to go to his house, pay him a visit.
Pay him a visit. What does that mean?
We're excited for their short films and eager to learn how we can make Sora a better tool for all creatives. I don't know why are you doing this? I don't understand.
Why are you doing
Why?
this?
How dare you?
How dare you? The OpenAI company also came under fire recently from Scarlett Johansson, who alleged CEO Sam Altman approached her about using her voice for the latest ChatGPT model, only to decline and see the company create a voice that sounds eerily like her. Altman has said the voice is not Johansson's or meant to mimic Johansson. Rather, it is the natural speaking voice of a hired actress. He also stated that the Sky voice was cast before OpenAI reached out to Scarlett Johansson. So
I heard that. Actually.
Things are eerily close. Scarlett Johansson being like, "No, I don't want to be a part of that," and then let's find someone who sounds almost exactly like her.
According to her, she was given the offer, she declined it, and then a month later she was given it again, and they said, "Are you sure?" And she says no, and the next day they released. They had it ready to go, basically.
Yeah,
we already did it.
We're going to do it whether or not you want it or not.
My guess is that they did it anyway, and then they found someone who sounds kind of like her. No, this is the actress.
I think that's probably accurate, but they honestly probably got the actress to sound like her first. Programmed the program off of it and said, "No, if we get Scarlett to co-opt
put the name on."
Yeah, they're probably smart enough to realize that they could figure out how they backwards engineered that.
Yeah,
So
AI continues to destroy the creative world that we live in, and it doesn't seem to be stopping. And Tyler, you're not helping us.
Oh, Jesus.
What am I doing?
We just talked about it. You keep posting AI, resharing AI pictures of goth girls and vampires.
From now on, you will speak only when.
There's a lot of
innocent though.
No, it's not.
It's not innocent.
It's not innocent.
How is it not innocent?
Because you're showing your support. They are getting more eyes on their quote unquote work
and money. They make money off of those
because of you, not just you.
They make money off of me reposting that stuff.
But also,
yes,
yeah.
What's all? When Instagram pages that have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of followers, and they get hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of views and likes on them, they have advertising programs, just like YouTube, just like Twitter and Facebook, and all these places. They make money off of those pages.
Well,
and guess what? And then when you're incentivizing AI pages that take almost no effort to do, you just click a bunch of buttons and you make a bunch of big titty goth girl art and reshare it, and everybody reposts it. Other people are gonna be mimicking that business model, and then your beloved artists that are actually making that work are eventually gonna die off because no one gives a fuck about it anymore. And there's gonna be this black market for big titty goth anime art. And you're going to have to pay $1,000. You're going to have to pay more than a cost for your beloved Supreme t-shirt to buy one pixelated JPEG of a big titty goth waifu.
Well, I mean, if that's the price I have to pay for
But you don't have to, though. You don't have to. Just don't support that bullshit. Just stop it. Make a choice. Make a choice, boy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll have to do more research on what I repost on things that I like that's on my feed.
Just think with your brain, not your boner. That's all I'm saying.
You be living in you don't want to live in hypocrisy, Tyler.
Yeah. Or maybe we do. Anything else you got?
No, that's it.
Okay, cool. Well, let's get right into some streaming picks.
Movies.
Wanna watch a movie?
Yes, I do. Disney Plus. Oh, HBO Max.
If I don't get the pick, show's over.
I have grown accustomed to Hulu Plus.
Amazon Prime.
I like Netflix.
You found the
Streaming picks. And before I get to Tyler, I forgot I have a couple messages from the class I wanted to read.
Oh, yeah.
Number one, Mitch Burns wrote in. He has a new movie for the Wheel of Punishment, which we have not been utilizing very much.
Oh, okay.
So I think we need to do we need to do something soon. Maybe I'll make up a game and we can play some games. And
what's the movie?
The movie's called The Legend of Cat Claws Mountain.
The Legend of Cat Claws Mountain.
It's a new release. It came out this year.
Oh, okay.
And it might not even be out yet. There's a talking pony involved.
Oh.
That's all. I watched the trailer.
Okay.
Okay.
It looks like a kid's movie. So
Is it animated?
no, it's live action.
Okay.
Honestly, it doesn't look terrible. Sorry, Mitch. But it doesn't look like something I would ever.
Did he watch it? Has he seen it?
No, he just sent me the trailer. He said, "What the fuck is this? I don't know what it is, but it needs to go on the Wheel of Punishment."
Okay.
Listener Steven wrote in and he says, "I just watched Late Night with the Devil. Holy shit, that was way back when." He agrees, but he also says, "Fear and Loathing, great book, bad movie.
Interesting.
Johnny Depp is fantastically annoying. Garbage," he says. Basura. And he says, "And I romanticize a 2-week drug bender, LOL." Movie still blows, though.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad of a movie at all. But the book is really great. I encourage everyone to check that one out.
And then we had a message to the website, mcfcpodcast.com. Philip Moore wrote in. And he says, "Hey guys, love you guys podcast. And a clarification for Tyler, the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre was 1974. That's 50 years ago, not 40. Last week's episode, you were talking about the 40th anniversary over and over again."
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you for the correction.
Yeah. Also, and he says he wants us to review Pulp Fiction. So,
Okay.
is Philip, is he on the Patreon? I think he's on the Patreon, right?
I don't know.
I think.
All right. Well, yeah. I've been avoiding putting Pulp Fiction on the wheel because I thought, it's been talked about ad nauseum, but if there's someone who wants to hear our noise about it,
you can be one of your donated movies. I've done that before. If someone sends in a recommendation and they're not necessarily on the Patreon, I've done that with Patreon people too. They're like, "Hey, want to watch this?" I'm like, "Shit, I'll just make it one of mine because I want to watch it this week." So thanks for writing in, Philip. Appreciate that, buddy. And then a message from Joel Shinneman, who we have.
There was a message from Jack, but it was to all of us.
Oh, we have on the board. Where is Joel? I could have sworn to have Joel on the board. Oh, here he is.
Yeah.
There he is. He says, "Hey, I wanted to chime in on Tyler's quip about the light bulb. That's your story last week about the Pulp Fiction, what's in the briefcase."
Yeah.
And you made that
the joke
really
about
super funny joke
about it being a light bulb.
Yeah.
He said
that was a very proud moment in my life.
He says, "Do better."
What?
Do you have anything?
I can't believe
a response.
Do you have a retort?
Joel?
A rebuttal?
A rebuttal?
Let's see you come up with something better.
Yeah.
You'd had to been there. Like it was
gold.
Everyone was like,
and then they laughed and laughed and laughed.
And everybody clapped.
That's absolutely
everybody clapped. Yeah.
Everybody. No,
I got a standing ovation, and I left.
Standing O.
He got a 27-minute standing ovation.
I wouldn't call it a 27-minute, but everyone's that Tyler. He's
outrageous Tyler.
He's I wouldn't say outrageous. No, he's a clever guy.
Wow, this guy, he's got something.
This guy's working on in 5D chess right here. I did ask Joel. I said, in case Tyler asks, what you could think you could do better. I said, what do you think A is in the briefcase and B would be a better comeback? And he says, that's a fair question. I think the answer to both is silence, which of course is golden. He's basically saying, mind your business.
That's a good one.
Yes.
That's a That's a good one.
Love it. Good Joel.
That's why he's the. That's
Yeah.
why
What
he's
did Jack write
among. That's why he's the best.
Jack sent us a message saying that Joseph, was 100% correct about not taking much to be better than Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't take much.
Yeah. At me.
Yeah.
At me on Twitter. Okay, so
Stream picks.
Tyler, what you got for streaming picks this week?
Yeah, I have a streaming pick. It's the Clovehitch Killer.
Oh, okay.
2018. Holy shit, this movie is really great. And I have a review on my letterbox. Let me just pull it up right here.
Hello. Come along, won't you? As Tyler reads his own letterboxed reviews. This is me, myself, and Tyler.
All right, Tyler, go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead with your letterbox reviews of the Clovehitch Killer.
Okay. I rated this a 5-star movie.
Ooh.
A++.
Yeah. Not A+, but yeah, it was an A for sure. But so it goes like this. This was an incredible movie with great cinematography and a unique story. The one thing that threw me off was that the main character shared my name. Tyler the Perv comes to mind in one of the scenes that made me laugh out loud. I was hoping for a better twist, however, the pacing and storytelling kept my attention. This movie kind of reminded me of the show Mindhunters on how it was shot in the color grading.
Ooh.
I would highly recommend this movie for anyone who's a fan of thrillers. Grade A and a report.
Oh, interesting. What made you want to pick this movie? Where did this come out of nowhere?
It was recommended by a dear friend of mine.
Someone who may be in the chat?
I don't believe that they are.
So you won't listen to our recommendations.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Hey, look,
Had two movies in the last month that Tyler came in and said, this mysterious dear friend who, how dear of a friend can you be, not even being named on the show? And, oh yeah, this person, dear friend, recommended to me, much more dear than my two best friends that I do a goddamn podcast with. For 4 years giving you recommendations, not one you've listened to.
That's not true.
Not one.
That's
Name
not
one.
true.
Name one.
That's not true. Well, you put me on the spot.
Actually, the Clovehitch Killer, I recommended you on the show because I watched it and reviewed it.
Stream picked it years ago.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, so yeah, dear friend.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah,
you.
See, there we go.
I feel the love. I feel
Are you
it.
mental?
But yeah, no, this movie is just, it was so captivating. And like you could, there's obvious tells of who the killer is and whatnot. You know where the story is going, but the way that they get to the end is just really fun. And there's at one point, there was at one point where I thought, oh wow, I don't think this guy is the killer. And I'm not
Have you seen it,
talking
Joseph?
about.
No,
Okay.
I almost pulled the trigger.
I'm not gonna spoil it or anything, but there was at one point where I was thinking, oh man, is it really like someone that he's like hiding in the house or something, and he's just doing these misdeeds? But yeah, it was good. It was a really, really great watch. And if you haven't seen it, but if you're a fan of Mindhunters, the TV show on Netflix by David Fincher, it's definitely a high recommend for sure.
I agree with the vibe of like the color grading, kind of the vibe of the show a little bit. I think Mindhunters is a way more complete and comprehensive movie, but Clovehitch Killer's got a good kind of solid start to finish narrative, and it's got some interesting characters that surprised me.
Yeah. I think the teenager girl character could have been fleshed out a little bit more, because she definitely says something that should have affected the story a lot more. And the editing of this movie threw me off a little bit, because it's not linear. Like towards the third act, it's not linear. So that definitely keeps you on your toes, like where it's going to go. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it feels like a mystery that you actually want to get to the bottom of, and when you get there, you're like, oh, it's right in front of my face, and it's still very satisfying.
Yeah. Like it's
just good storytelling and good acting.
Yeah, it was just, and then just like the pacing of the movie as well was very efficient. It worked very well for me.
Nice,
So,
cool.
yeah.
And where's that streaming again?
That actually, you know what? I had to rent it.
Oh, okay.
So it's on, but you can rent it on Amazon Prime.
All right, cool. All right, that's Clovehitch Killer, Amazon Prime rental. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Joseph, what you got?
Before I give my stream picks, Tyler, I have a challenge for you. Should you choose to accept, which I hope you do.
Okay.
Watch at least one of our streaming picks per week. Like just at least one of them.
And it doesn't have to be the last week. And we have probably, at this point, I have to say thousands of streaming picks. Thousands of streaming picks for you to pick. Probably close. We're 500 episodes coming up here.
Yeah.
At least 2 or 3 from each of us per week.
Okay. So,
and whatever you stream pick that I haven't seen, I'll also watch.
Oh, I like that.
Just a little trade.
I'll jump in on that too, because there hasn't been many movies that Tyler stream picked that I haven't seen, but I'll add it to my. I will do that.
I'll watch Clovehitch this week.
Clovehitch Killer, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of which, Clovehitch Killer is actually streaming for free on Netflix, Hulu, Kanopy, and AMC Plus.
Oh wait, what? It was on Netflix. Damn it!
Did you rent it?
Yes.
I rented it on Prime.
Damn it!
Okay.
I didn't
That's
know.
almost as bad as when I wanted to watch Ocean's 11 or Ocean's 12 or something like that with Brianna, and I pulled the DVD out from my storage. I put away all my old DVDs.
Yeah.
But I know I had it somewhere, and I pulled it out and I said, aha, I have it. And I took it out and then immediately sat down and rented it on YouTube on accident. Like my muscle memory kicked in, and Brianna's, what are you doing?
It's right there.
You just pulled the discount. Fuck.
Yeah.
$4 down the drain.
Yeah.
All right. I like that challenge, Joseph.
Okay.
Yeah.
For my stream picks, I'm going to talk about this kind of a thriller, not really horror movie. It kind of turns into a horror towards the end. Directed by Dave Franco, called The Rental. This is his first and only directorial feature, I think. Streaming on Netflix and Shudder. And this is starring Dan Stevens, Alison Brie, and one Jeremy Allen White.
Oh.
And essentially...
My male crush.
Yeah. Essentially, Dan Stevens and Jeremy Allen White are brothers. Dan Stevens is it's like an architect or something like that. Like him and this girl, and it's like a couple's getaway trip that they go on, and it's Dan Stevens, his girlfriend, who is Alison Brie, and then Jeremy Allen White, who's his brother, and then his girlfriend, Dan Stevens' characters works with, is like his business partner. And so they take a group vacation to an Airbnb on the coast somewhere. And if you guys are familiar with The Wiz, the actor who plays The Wiz in Seinfeld, I don't know his actual name. I think his name is Toby Huss.
It always comes back
Toby
to
Huss.
Seinfeld.
Yeah, he's
great.
He plays the like manager of the rental property that they're renting, and it's this really nice kind of beach house cabin thing. And there's some like a little bit of turmoil between the couples. The brother, Jeremy Allen White, he's kind of like a degenerate. He has like a record of having anger issues and like spending time in jail and drugs and stuff. And he's kind of in a middle ground or middle moment right now where he's clean, but he still has some issues. And a lot of stuff doesn't really start happening till the third act. But they essentially find one of the girls is taking a shower, and she finds that there's a camera hidden in the shower head, and things start to kind of turn south down there because Dan Stevens cheats on his girlfriend with the business partner, and they're in the shower together, and then they find out, oh shit, that was recorded. And they think the property manager is responsible for it. And I won't say anything past that because there's some reveals, or a little bit of reveals. And I will say that this movie has a sort of unsatisfying ending, but oddly enough, I was satisfied with the unsatisfying ending because the answers aren't given to you specifically as to why things happen. But the way the story unfolds and stuff, I felt it was good enough, and kind of it made it a little bit more eerie, creepy
I remember liking this when I saw it a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
Thought Dave Franco directing.
Yeah.
And he did pretty good.
Yeah, it's a well-made, well-directed movie. I wouldn't
a good little thriller.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect something like that to come out of Dave Franco, but it was good.
I like the description on IMDb. It just says 2 couples rent a vacation home for what should be a celebratory weekend getaway, and that's it. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, next I watched a classic teenage rom-com streaming on Hulu, Disney Plus. This is 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, classic. That is classic.
Heath Ledger, Julia Stiers, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, David Krumholtz, Gabrielle Union, Larry Miller, Allison Janney as a pretty hilarious principal who's also kind of a creep.
Forgot she's in this.
Yeah, she's not in it a whole lot, but she is in it in the beginning, and she's pretty good. And this is a retelling of a Shakespeare story.
Taming of the Shrew.
Yeah, Taming of the Shrew.
10 Things I Hate About You, Taming the Shrew.
And this was a really entertaining movie. This is a really fun movie to watch. Like, I wasn't expecting like a whole lot. I just was watching it because I think it was like, I don't know, Saturday night or Sunday night or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like 9:00. And I was like, I want to watch something, but I don't want to watch anything. I wasn't in the mood for anything like heavy or anything like that. And I've only seen the one iconic scene where he is singing on the bleachers.
Oh, yeah.
So watched it, and super fun movie.
Cool.
If you haven't seen it,
I like that. I like that movie.
If you haven't seen it, and rom-coms are your thing, especially late 90s or mid 90s, then check it out for sure.
Larry Miller's really good in that too. He plays the dad. He's got this very classic sensibility to him, and he fits right at home in that movie. I love Larry Miller.
He's good. I caught up with Run, a movie streaming on Hulu starring Sarah Paulson, and kind of a story similar to the real life story of Gypsy Rose.
Oh yeah, I remember. I saw this last year, I think. And
this was just pretty tense, pretty creepy. And there is a reveal that happens in the movie that I won't spoil, but it's this young girl is wheelchair bound for most of her life, and she's on a lot of medications, and they kind of live out, I don't want to say in the middle of nowhere, but they live out, not in the city. They kind of live it's almost like they're homesteading a little bit. The mom, played by Sarah Paulson, has this big garden, and she kind of shelters the main character a lot, her child. And Sarah Paulson there's this one scene where Sarah Paulson is just kind of sitting in the kitchen in the background in the dark. That was like really unnerving. It was like nothing was really happening. She was just like sitting there, and you can see her back there, and it gave me the shivers. It was a little creepy.
I'm not the biggest Sarah Paulson fan, but she was good in this.
Yeah,
her name was Sarah Paulson.
Yeah, good one. This was a good kind of tense, a little bit of a thriller, because you're following a main character who is essentially disabled and can't go anywhere. It's almost like a Misery type situation, but it's instead of however long that story takes, this happens like this is his whole child's like life.
Yeah.
And she doesn't start to realize until she's about to go off to college, or when she should be going off to college, and she's like waiting for her acceptance letters. But yeah, this was a good thrill, I would say. And I'm going to talk about Violent Nature.
Yes, let's do it.
Yes, In a Violent Nature, new take on the slasher genre that I don't think has really been done before. Sort of a walking simulator slasher movie.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Walking simulator.
Yeah, because essentially the story is you are following a Jason-like slasher who is awakened by these teenagers stealing this necklace that is above where he's buried, and that's how the movie opens.
And his name is Johnny too, instead of Jason.
Yeah, it's Johnny.
Johnny more V's.
Yeah. And so these teenagers who are camping, they take the necklace, and that is essentially what was keeping him in the ground, because like a decade earlier, there was like the slaughter of whatever the name of that campsite is. And they go into detail about why that happened later in the movie. But this movie really tests your patience. Mm-hmm. This is a test of how willing you are to keep of keeping your eyes on the screen. And I'm glad I did see it in the movie theater, because I don't know if I could watch this at home for the first time, because I feel like I would have
Been distracted.
I'm like been easily distracted because there are some scenes where he is just walking and you are behind him like a third person like video game.
It's like Death Stranding. You're just watching him walk for hella long.
And he's very slow.
He doesn't walk, he lumbers.
He saunters.
Yeah.
He moseys.
He definitely does not saunter.
Yeah.
Well, one scene.
Yeah.
He's, I gotta go.
Yeah, he hits the sprint button and he walks a little faster. He walks at almost a normal pace.
Yeah.
And this is a movie that I ended up enjoying quite a bit, but I didn't really figure it out that I liked it until maybe a day after I watched it, because when it ended, I really wasn't sure what to think about it, because
You seemed a little upset at the ending. Just right when we first got out. Because when
it ended.
Joseph and I saw this in theaters because we happened to be in the same theaters. Sometimes we'll see the same movie on opposite sides of Sacramento because he's in proper Sac and I'm down here in Elk Grove. And in this movie, the entire Sacramento area, there's only one theater playing it on one night for one showing.
Yeah.
And so we both booked tickets and they were in the same fucking theater. And when it was done, I kind of felt the same way. I was like, I respect a lot about what this movie was.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed to digest it. It took me about 2 full days until I really settled into my feelings for it.
Yeah. I gave it a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd because I'm not like a huge fan of the slasher genre. I've seen a couple of them, I could say for sure. I mean, I can't say that I've seen really much of Jason's movies. I've seen Jason X.
Hell yeah.
And Freddy versus Jason.
Now we're talking.
But nothing, I don't think I've seen any of the classic ones. And this movie is it's very unique. It's very unique. And I would describe it as a very, very dry, dark comedy slasher movie. Because there are moments where it's like, there's no way they're not expecting us to laugh at this.
There was probably 3 or 4 times when you and I were both laughing in the theater and no one else was laughing. And I'm like, this is funny.
Yeah. It's oddly comedic and the kills are pretty brutal. There's especially brutal killing, a couple brutal deaths.
Let's just say the yoga kill.
The yoga kill.
Yeah. Because everybody dances around this, that one death.
Yeah.
It's the one in the trailer, and you see him stalking up to a girl doing yoga, and then she turns back and sees him and she screams, and then it cuts away.
Yeah.
The death in that scene is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it looks and feels like they really did that, which would be impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But goddamn.
Yeah, and it's also kind of a meta movie a little bit. It doesn't
It's like meta light.
It doesn't step outside of the slasher movie. Like, it's not like it's saying this is a slasher movie. It's more like we are watching a slasher movie take place, like a typical slasher movie where it's like campers that are being hunted by this bloodthirsty guy.
Yeah.
And you are just catching up with the campers at different points in this movie that they're in, and via the killer's POV.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the campers' dialogue is intentionally written bad, and acted like almost borderline over the top. And I think it all worked really well. And the movie just looks really good.
It's a really well made movie.
Yeah, really well crafted. All practical effects and very bold in its execution, because it dares you. It dares you to like it.
The whole time, it's almost like the filmmakers trolling you to be like, yeah, why don't you just turn it off now? That's all that's going to happen. Because to be honest, like the first 20 minutes, not a ton like killing happens.
Yeah.
It's just, you don't even know who the person is. The guy comes out of the ground, literally comes out of the ground.
Yeah.
Which was awesome in its own right. And through the scenes like that, I was watching like from a production mind. I'm like, how long has that guy been under there? The actor, you know? And then there's a scene where he walks into the water and it's a really long take. And I'm like, I'm looking for bubbles. I'm looking for something. I'm like, do they have a diver down there with him? Does he got an air bladder down there?
Yeah. What's the
air bladder?
Yeah. Do they have a bubble catch too? Because even if you're using an oxygen tank, there's bubbles come up constantly when you're breathing out.
Yeah.
So do they have some sort of an inhale here and then exhale here into this tube?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. He's a creature. He's a human, a dead
undead
spirit. Yeah. So my take on this, is this your last streaming pick?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
not streaming in theaters.
Yeah, it's in theaters only. It's going to be on Shudder very soon, and it is a Shudder production because they show the logo.
They
at the
play the
beginning.
Shudder, yeah.
The John Carpenter's made dun 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 dun. Eric's in the chat. He loved this. Dave from Dave's Like Movies says, I only fell asleep once during In a Violent Nature, so not too bad. Eric said he already watched it twice because the second watch is even better. I love that. I can't wait to watch it again.
Yeah.
So my kind of take on it really is that I also am not a huge slasher fan. I've watched a ton, and almost always I'm like, they're not having fun with this. This doesn't seem fun enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like the concept of the slasher should be either in your face, gory, like terrifying, like actually frightening, or it should be fun. It should be having a lot more fun with it. Jason X, tons of fun. Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, tons of fun. You know, he's a zombie Jason at that point, you know?
Yeah.
Jason X, he's the space station Jason.
Space
with the
Jason.
metal face mask Jason, his brain's exposed and shit. He cuts someone's arm off and he's still frozen. David Lynch is in that movie, for God's sake.
Is he?
Yeah. Oh. He's in the opening scene. He's the one that like freezes him at the beginning.
Okay.
So I don't think there's just enough fun being had with it. I think the closest we get to that now is Terrifier, which is you could tell that the creators of the movie are having a ton of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I disliked the first one a lot of Terrifier. The second one was much better. Still not my cup of tea. It's almost like too mean-spirited in a way, which is hard to say because I loved this. I also gave it 4 stars. And these are some of the most mean-spirited kills I've ever seen on screen.
Oh, yeah.
On screen. The yoga kill is going to be talked about for the next 100 years of slasher films. I'm saying it right now. The mechanics of how he kills that woman.
Oh God, yeah.
You're like, how?
Is this a Mortal Kombat fatality?
That's what it felt like. And the choice of the camera direction of showing the up close parts of the people's bodies as they're being killed it's daring you to not watch because it looks like these people are being mutilated.
Mm-hmm.
And to be clear, this is a low budget movie. This is a small movie.
Yeah.
So
directed by Chris Nash.
I don't know who that is, but the name is going to be burned in my head hopefully because really really pay attention to this guy. So
I like the first kill that happens. They don't show anything really. There's an editing trick that he does where it's like a match cut with his hand.
Is it
It's when he's reaching for the necklace.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
He thinks it ended up being like a dog tag or something. But there's like his hand is approaching the guy's face and then it just cuts and it's covered in blood.
Yeah. There's some really cool stuff in here. And I think, again, on a rewatch, I'm going to appreciate it even more. But if I'd never seen a slasher, maybe I wouldn't care it as much. But I feel like it took a genre that's been done to death and made it very interesting to me. Mm-hmm. Even in the slow parts, the slow walking scenes were compelling because it drove home just how black and white this killing spirit is. All it knows is kill and get the locket. That's all I need to know.
Yeah. And
then it's almost like a meat Terminator, a very slow meat Terminator, like a living flesh monster that has powers beyond our comprehension and cannot be stopped.
Yeah.
And then besides the semi-meta twist on the camp killer genre and like the awesome practical effects, I think that the real star of the show is the tension building because there is so many shots that build tension and they're almost always rewarded until I won't say any more, but there's a moment where you're leaning in, you're waiting for something to happen and you're on the edge of your seat waiting for something to happen. And it's almost like it's edging you. It's the whole time. And the whole movie has been his payoff. And then you're edged to death, basically.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a very memorable movie. I can see this going up on a rewatch for me. So
yeah,
super fun. Fun's not the right word.
Yeah. Fun? I don't know. But it was
something.
It was interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. Let's just leave it at that. Okay, so I'm gonna blow through a lot of these. We got a lot of activity in the chat. Heather and Dave and Kevin and Jack and Eric, everybody, they're having.
Tyler, you are drenched with sweat right now.
Sorry.
What were you trying to play?
There's a bunch of drops here that are missing, so I'm just trying to figure out what I have and don't have.
Oh, okay, gotcha. But yeah, thank you for everybody for being in the chat. It's a really fun chat today. We can't comment on all of this stuff, but please come hang out in the chat if you're a podcast listener. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm going to go in order of worst to best. So I watched a bunch of stuff this week, and some of it was really bad.
I'm curious on a couple of them that you watched.
First one, Unfrosted. Worst of the week. Worst of the week. 1.5 stars.
Nice.
Lazy, unfunny. I wanted it to be good, but damn. It's like half of the jokes weren't even jokes. They're just like commenting on what's happening on screen.
Yeah.
They're referencing what's happening, and I got that reference. It wasn't funny though. Every character, not one character besides the children, are like someone that I didn't recognize.
Right.
Every single person is like, oh my God, that's fucking Bobby Cannavale or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Bobby Moynihan.
It's just a bunch of comedians or SNL cast members.
A lot of SNL cast members. Oh, there's Kyle Mooney. Oh, what's his name? Literally everybody you see, you're like, I recognize that guy.
Yeah.
And they all did fine for what they were doing, but the content was bad.
Yeah.
They were trying to do like a Weird Al, the Weird Al Yankovic story.
Yeah.
The Weird Al Yankovic story type movie, but it was just not done right. So don't watch that. That's on Netflix. Also on Netflix right now that you should not watch, Madam Web, 2 stars, bad movie.
Really?
Yes. Her powers are basically like Final Destination powers.
Premonitions.
She can see people's deaths on the horizon, but we don't get to see the cool deaths. We see one instance of that in the movie. Somebody, and you're like, oh shit, that person's dead. I thought they were a main character. And then it kind of rolls it back and you're like, oh, that was a vision. And you're like, okay, that was kind of cool. I like that because I got to see what it really kind of shocked me. They did that one time, and the premonitions is basically the whole movie is these premonitions happening and then her going back to change the future. And I kept thinking, okay, they're going to unlock another spider power soon. She's going to be able to have some strength or shoot webs or anything, but she has none. It's just that one power. She takes down the bad guy twice with a car. She hits him with a car twice. And the bad guy is so OP. He kills like 5 people in one scene. And then the second he has the opportunity to kill the people he's actually trying to kill in the plot, he pulls back and doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Because the plot says so.
Yeah.
Oh, bad. Really bad. Really bad. There's this whole scene where the main bad guy's talking to his like henchwoman, his IT guy, girl, who's actually Molly from Molly and Max, that actress.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's talking with her, and the ADR of his voice is so bad. It's complete mismatch. It looks like you're watching an old kung fu movie that's dubbed over.
Oh, wow.
It's that bad. It's really bad.
And they released it.
I was talking to Jack about that, and he watched it in theaters, and he thought it was a projector mistake.
Oh.
When it came out of Netflix, they didn't fix it. They didn't even fix it when they released it on digital. Yeah. Also, Kevin says he says, why am I craving a Pepsi right now? At the end is like the biggest product placement ever. The whole final fight scene is fought in front of a Pepsi Cola.
Choice of a new generation.
Yeah, neon sign. She's also a terrible paramedic.
Is that what she is? She's an EMT?
She's a paramedic, yeah.
Why is she terrible at it?
All she has, one move is CPR. She does CPR on everybody.
She just knows CPR.
Regardless of what the injury is, CPR. And then
I'm conscious. I'm just bleeding to death. CPR.
I know. The guy, there's a one point where she's like half-ass giving somebody CPR, like barely pushing on him while there's stuff going, she's having a premonition. And then she kind of comes to and looks down, and the guy's just like looking at her, and she goes, okay, you can go. Literally says, you're good, you can go. And he just gets up and walks away.
What is the hodgepodge, the gang that she has with her? That's Sydney Sweeney and the other.
So the plot is that the main bad guy has the spider powers.
Like Spider-Man powers?
Yeah.
He's like evil Spider-Man?
Yeah, but Sony doesn't have the rights to Spider-Man anymore. So they can't say Spider-Man, but they make him in a suit that looks like Spider-Man. And the guy that she's partners with, this takes place in 2007.
What?
The guy she partners with is played by Adam Scott, her paramedic partner.
Okay.
He is Ben Parker. That's Uncle Ben.
He's Uncle Ben?
He's Uncle Ben.
Oh.
And they're at one scene that they're at the baby shower for his nephew, which is going to be Peter Parker.
Oh.
But they don't actually name him Peter. The baby's name is going to be, and then
it's Pedro.
It cuts, and then you never see it. But it's Pedro. Pedro Parker.
Pedro.
That's one of my painters calls me that. Jose.
Pedro Parker.
So, but the whole plot is that the guy who has the evil Spider-Man, he gets the spider that her mom was trying to find. Her mom was trying to find the spider so she could get the powers to save the baby inside her in the Amazon. Yeah. And they find the spider, and then he steals it from her and kills her. And he takes the spider and then flash forward 25 years, 30 years or whatever. And now he's a millionaire because of the spider somehow. Madam Web, piece of shit.
Don't watch it.
Yeah. I could wax on for a while.
It's not even entertaining to watch? Comedic?
No,
fun?
it was fun.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Madam Web, watch it. It sucks.
Oh, okay. Watch it in a group.
Yeah. I mean, we've been waiting actually for a while because Justice really wanted to watch this, producer Justice.
Oh, okay.
So me and Brianna were like chomping at the bit to watch this piece of shit, supposedly. And we had to wait for Justice to be home and ready to watch a movie and not, off to go do something or whatever. And we finally all sat down and watched it as a family. And it was terrible.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Justice is usually pretty nice to movies. He's just happy to, be watching a fun movie. He's just not overly critical or whatever. Me and Brianna are talking shit the whole time. And I got a couple of belly laughs out of him just because of how bad it was. Looked over and he's just cackling his ass off. And we're like, what? He goes, this is so dumb. Yeah. Anyways, the three girls, by the way, those are the people that the villain's trying to kill.
Oh.
He has a vision that they're going to kill him.
Oh.
So he goes to find them first.
He has a vision.
He has a vision because he has spider powers. He has visions as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I didn't know spiders had premonition powers like that.
Back in the 50s, that's what they thought when they wrote this character.
Oh, okay.
Because they're so fast. All right. So that's the next worst of the week. The next worst of the week after that, the new Jennifer Lopez Netflix movie, Atlas.
Oh, man. You watched that one?
The AI puff piece.
The anti-AI, probably AI-generated puff piece.
It's actually pro-AI.
Oh.
By the end. Fuck, this movie sucks.
Oh, okay.
It's actually more middle of the road. But
what compelled you to watch it?
Because it was a trash fire and I wanted to watch a trash fire.
And it's new.
Yeah, it's new, But I will say this, I still went to the movies and I watched new movies in theaters. In Furiosa in theaters, saw In a Violent Nature in theaters. I don't want to... Don't stay home and watch these shitty movies only. Watch them if they want for the fun of it. But go out and see real movies so that people make real movies instead of this shit. The last three movies, the worst three of the week, are Netflix original movies. Well, actually, Madam Web's not Netflix original, but may as well be.
It wasn't theater.
So
yeah,
cool CGI robot smashing is still dumb fun. So there's some enjoyment to be made out of it. But this is about lowest common denominator entertainment.
What do you think about that chess scene, the opening scene?
Oh, lame, dumb. I mean, it's so on the nose. Everything is on the nose about this. There's not one surprise in this entire movie.
Yeah,
not one.
I think what bothers me most is Jennifer Lopez, and I don't know. It doesn't look like she's playing a character. She just looks like she's playing Jennifer Lopez.
I'm a J-Lo apologist in movies. I don't mind her in movies. She's fine. She's like the Patrick Wilson of actors.
Okay.
She's there.
Patrick Wilson is an actor.
I know, but she's another one. She's another one.
Okay. He is an actor, though.
Grizzly Adams did have a beard.
Yeah.
The Cell, yeah.
The Cell's great.
The Cell.
Kevin.
The Selena.
I love
that.
I love her in that. Yeah. I haven't seen Selena. I loved her in Hustlers. Great. This pains me to say this. The next worst of the week, Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
Doesn't hold up.
No. It makes me so sad because I loved this movie when I was a kid.
I watched it recently too, and I was not nearly as enjoying it as much.
I never thought I'd rate this a 2.5 star movie. My childhood memories are so
tarnished, so
glowing of it.
Yeah.
And the reality of how it aged is just depressing. The speed of the jokes is not good. They let pause for laughs a lot. And man, it's just, I feel like it's like watching a baseball player from the 1920s play against like Aaron Judge or whatever. Mike Trout, and you're like, fuck, LeBron James would absolutely destroy basketball players of the early NBA days.
Can you imagine LeBron James time travels back to when basketball first started?
Or baseball. He'd probably crush the baseball players too.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's not great. This one's not streaming anywhere, but I paid to rent it because I've been really wanting to watch it. And man,
really? I watched it streaming.
It's not right now. It's not. I don't think so.
It must have been taken off.
Better than Robin Hood Men in Tights, the 2020 Fantasy Island horror reboot called Fantasy Island.
Based off the show?
Based off of the show. Yeah.
Is Tattoo in it?
Tattoo's in it. Yeah, he's played by Jimmy O. Yang. And he's not revealed to the very end. And I don't care that I'm spoiling this because the movie's not great. It's also not as bad as...
What's that? Who's the guy who's the Mr... No.
I don't know. I don't know his character's name, but I think it's originally played by Ricardo Montalban. And it's Michael Pena plays him
Montalban,
in this. So Lucy Hale's in this, Michael Rooker, Austin Stowell, Jimmy O. Yang, Portia Doubleday, Charlotte McKinney, Ryan Hansen, Mike Vogel, a lot of people you'd recognize. And it was fine. It was cool, interesting, better than I thought it was going to be. It looked like a shitty sort of Hulu After Dark sort of like original, but with a good cast. And it was not bad. 2.5 stars, but a high 2.5 stars.
Okay.
That's streaming. I didn't see where that's streaming. I'll put it all in the show notes. I watched 8 Mile. That's streaming on Starz.
Nice.
Yeah, I bought it on Blu-ray. It was a Blu-ray discount sale on Groove. It was like $4.
Oh,
never seen it before. It was exactly what I was expecting, which was very good. Yeah,
I'm surprised you haven't seen it before.
Not a bad thing.
How do you think about Eminem's acting?
I think he did good. Yeah, I think he did pretty good. I think Mekhi Phifer was pretty good. The guy that looks like a caveman there's his friend that shoots himself in the leg.
Yeah.
I thought he was probably the best part. I
thought he shot his dick off.
He almost did.
Okay.
Yeah, it was right by his dick. That's what they were saying, basically. So yeah, 8 Miles. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, what I like, I really like 8 Mile because it's like a pretty tight story it's a tight, simple story, good acting on Eminem's part, which I remember when this movie came out, which I believe was in 2008.
I don't know. I just closed the tab.
When did Scary Movie 3 come out? Because I think that came out in 2008, maybe.
Okay, well, it was probably like it was in that like time range, and everyone was like, Eminem's gonna be acting in a movie.
02. Eminem was 02. 8 Miles 02.
It really was 02.
I'm telling you the truth.
Wow. Showing my age.
It's been 22 years.
It's been 22 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie.
Much better than his acting in The Hip Hop Witch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I think it's a 3.5 star movie, but again, a high 3.5 stars. Better than that, Abigail, streaming on...
Oh, streaming now.
Yeah, where is it streaming now? It is on... I guess, is it not streaming anywhere? I know I streamed this. I know I did not pay to watch this movie. I'm looking online. I don't see it. No, either way.
It's streaming once.
It's for rental. So Abigail, I already talked about it at length on the show before. It's very good. Go out and watch it now. But even more better than that is The First Omen, which is streaming on Hulu.
Yeah, that kind of just dropped out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to see like...
Also Godzilla, -1.
Yep.
Yeah, streaming on Netflix.
I did not watch that, but I wore my Godzilla shirt.
Yeah, it looks great.
Just to pay respect to the G-Man, finally on Netflix with a all-star-studded English dub overcast, which kind of makes me want to watch it in English dubs now.
Interesting.
Paxton Hall Yoshida is voicing it, one of the characters. But yeah, First Omen, seriously, go watch it. It's really good.
Yeah.
I watched it a second time at home, and it's even better.
It's all for you, Damien. It's all for you.
There is a homage scene to that. Okay, next best one, 21 Jump Street. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about that, but it is one of the best comedies I can remember. It's up there with Tropic Thunder. The laughs per minute are so fucking good. It's so funny.
LPM
is off the charts here. And I can understand people thinking that it's draining, the characters are draining or whatever, they're unlikable. I disagree, but it's just really, really good.
Now we want finger popping each other's assholes.
Yeah, that whole movie is just ridiculous. It's so frenetic. I mean, it's Lord and Miller, so how can it go wrong?
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then better than that,
22 Jump Street.
No, Black Dynamite. Oh. Streaming on Starz. I bought it.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Dynamite.
I'd say it's probably that Black Dynamite, Tropic Thunder, 21 Jump Street, and MacGruber are like my favorite comedies of all time.
I'll never get over them like figuring out what's going on in the donut shop and like him like going like,
yeah. Now you're getting it. What year was astrology invented? 406 BC. And what is the area code of 406? Kentucky, Arlington, Kentucky, or whatever.
What does Roscoe figure out?
Chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles.
It was donuts and chili.
Yeah,
was his restaurant.
And chili. Yeah.
He closed the restaurant down. They were eating. He wanted some waffles and ham, and she goes, "All I got is this old fried chicken from last night." And he's like, chicken and waffles. That sounds terrible. And he jumps up and that's it. Yeah, but Dune Part 2. Watch it again. Phenomenal. Very good. Mm-hmm. Even better at home with subtitles. So that's on HBO Max.
Fantastic.
Yes. So kind of powered through all those. I had a lot to say, or a lot of stuff I watched with a little to say about a few of them.
Yeah.
The bad ones are more fun to talk about, to be honest. And in a violent nature, I think that's the big takeaway people should watch. Okay.
Cool.
Anything else you got? Tyler, you got anything?
So you write down those stream picks, Tyler. Just watch one of them.
I was supposed to be writing them down. Shit.
Oh, Kevin from Real Spoiler says he's going to be catching The Exorcist Believer on streaming because he missed it in theaters.
Well,
I think
that's one way to spend your time.
I think it's a bad move, Kevin.
That's one way to spend your time.
Bad move. Oh God, yeah.
You could be watching Madam Web instead.
Yeah.
I threw that shit before I came in the room.
Yeah.
You know what? I have
Omen.
an idea.
Yeah, watch the first Omen. Don't watch Exorcist.
Yeah, watch the first Omen.
Yeah, Omen, not Exorcist. Yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe we should do a commentary on Madam Web. Who knows? That might be fun.
Yeah, that might be not a bad idea. We should do something. We should. I actually support that. A commentary soon, but maybe not that movie.
I think it would be cool to actually have us, at least all of us, have watched it and to talk about it, because that would be fun.
What?
To Madam Web.
Do an episode on Madam Web. Okay,
we do a Madam Web bonus episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll put up to the Patreon who wish our next streaming commentary, stream along, watch along movie is.
This is a democracy.
Cade the Tortured Crossing was kind of a hit, but that movie is just terrible. We should watch something a little bit better.
Commentary on In a Violent Nature.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. In this scene where he's walking, you can really tell how angry he is.
Yeah.
He looks like he's got a load in his pants and he's trying not to let it drop.
I really would have liked to have been in the editing room for this, because there's definitely like the editor of this movie and the director. The editor was like, "Are you sure you want this much walking in this one scene?" Yes. Actually, I want more.
Yeah. Can you cut a couple more extra walking scenes in here?
Yeah. We filmed 10 minutes of him walking. We're going to use 10 minutes of him walking.
It's like Primer.
Yeah.
They filmed the exact amount of footage they needed for the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So thank you to our cool ass yard duties on Patreon. That's Javier, Heather Sachs, Ryan, Corbin, and Chris. If you want to support us on the Patreon, hit us up at patreon.com/MCFC podcast. I think it's what it is. No, patreon.com/middleclassfilmclass. But if you do not want to support us on the Patreon, you can also just watch along on the YouTube live. Subscribe,
follow,
like, share with friends, do all that stuff.
Send us a letter.
Yes. Carrier pigeon, anything. But the YouTube watch hours
Smoke signals.
Yeah, that's kind of that's a big thing right now. We're trying to get into the stratosphere where we can actually pull a couple shekels from this YouTube stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's a free thing you can do. Even if you aren't able to watch the entire thing, hop on. We stream for usually about 3.5 hours every Saturday. It's a good time. And it's been a really fun delight to have everybody in the YouTube live chat. If you're not doing anything, stick around for the second half. We're going to be reviewing The Brave Little Toaster.
Yeah. If you don't want to watch The Brave Little Toaster but hear us talk about it.
Yeah. Or you can put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
On your phone, and then put us on the TV or vice versa.
Yeah.
Hear us talking about it, not in real time, but it'll probably be about the same length.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So until next time. Thank you for joining us one more time. Follow us later on today or later on in the week as we review Brave Little Toaster, my childhood favorite. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC podcast, and send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
And follow us on Instagram at Middle Class Film Class, and leave us a voicemail, why don't you, at 209-730-6010.
And follow us on Twitter at Podcast MCFC, and on TikTok at Middle Class Film Class.
All right. Thanks to everybody for sticking with us through the technical difficulties and having a good time in the chat. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
See ya.
Class dismissed.
I gotta get out of here.
The bell doesn't dismiss you. I dismiss you.
You're free to go.
See you next week.
See you later.
See you later.
That's a wrap.
Great show.